It's been quite some time since I did an EDC video or any setup video at all. It's mainly because I have things in my everyday carry that are brought in with the intention of getting years of daily use. My everyday sling bag carry are the things that come with me every single time I leave the house with my bag and pretty much get used on an every single day basis. Which means everything in this video has been dropped, stepped on, or probably forgotten about somewhere. Most of the things I'll be showing in today's video I've had for several years, and I feel like I've gotten a genuine experience with each and every one of them. And I knew I wanted to make a video of my everyday carry that serves as both an update as to what I have in my setup, as well as sort of a long-term review for each one of these things, and of course as well as the bag itself. Here's my sling bag everyday carry for 2025. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like and please attach a symbiote to the subscribe button. Let's get started. Of course, I'm going to start with the bag itself. This is the same bellroy sling that I've been using on a daily basis since the summer of 2022, so about 3 years to the day. I will stand by this being the perfect size and weight for something I bring to places like work or the park. My iPad fits in here perfectly. There's just enough pockets without it being overcomplicated, and I haven't had any issues with the main strap or magnetic clasp over all these years. The only thing that seems to be pretty worn out at this point are that these zippers are starting to fray, but that's an easy fix and to be expected. I also don't think I actually ever mentioned this before when talking about this bag, but when it's empty, it can be easily rolled really tight and stored somewhere to save some space if needed. This is the only sling bag of this size I've ever owned, and it was way before any partnerships I've ever had with Bellroy. So I can't necessarily say it's the best sling bag out there, how it's held up, and I'm hoping to get at least a few more years of use out of it. Next is my phone. I do occasionally get asked what phone I'm using, and as of right now, I'm still using my iPhone 13. And like I've done with all of my phones before it, I plan at least getting around 6 years of use if possible. To be a little bit more specific, this is my iPhone 13, green, 128 gigabytes of storage. I've never opted for the Pro versions of iPhones, and at the time, this really did seem to check all the boxes of things I wanted. Looking back though, I really do wish I had gotten just the iPhone 13 mini when it was available. I think I really do just prefer the smaller versions of electronics when it is an option. I have a matte black privacy screen protector on it, mostly because it never feels like the screen is getting too smudged and it has this smoother sort of texture on the screen. And lastly, I do have a rather cheap, I think $15 or so silicone phone case here. I've had expensive phone cases and cheap ones, and they are more or less the same thing. Wallet. Out of everything I'm going to show in today's video, my wallet is something I have zero intention of changing for the foreseeable future. And I definitely couldn't imagine carrying any wallet bigger than this. This is the titanium wallet from Ridge, and this thing feels pretty indestructible. It carries every card I need, which is about 6 or so, mostly IDs, and it has a clip for any cash I might be carrying as well. Ridge actually did send me this wallet a few years ago, and while I do love it, it's still pretty expensive. I know that on Amazon, for example, there are wallets that seem to be like carbon copies of this and are much more affordable. But if you have the means and you care about things like a lifetime warranty, this is definitely a good option. I also do like that if I wanted to in the future, I could change out this cash clip for an elastic strap or even an AirTag holder if I felt the need to. And even carrying this wallet every single day, I use Apple Pay almost exclusively when it's available. If I was able to carry my ID in my Apple Wallet, I could see myself actually leaving this behind quite often. Sunglasses. I actually received my sunglasses as a gift a little over a year ago. I've had the exact style of sunglasses since I was about 18 years old. And since then, this is only my 3rd pair. I've only ever replaced them because the first 2 pairs broke when my huge rear end sat on them accidentally. But anyways, these are my Ray-Ban Clubmasters. Sunglasses are probably the things you can get away with a relatively inexpensive pair, but for how long I typically keep mine, I'm okay with having a little bit more premium. I have to have my sunglasses with me as much as almost anything else in my bag. I don't know if I have sensitive eyes or something like that, but I feel like I'm leaving the Fallout vault for the first time whenever I leave the house for the day. I do have a case for these, but I typically keep them on the inside protected pocket when I keep them in my bag. Keys. My key setup is something that actually recently changed and not by choice. No exaggeration, as I was writing this video, I was thinking about how much I love this magnetic clasp on the keychain that Orbit Key makes when I heard something fall on the floor in the other room. And it was, of course, my keys that were hooked onto my backpack, and the plastic part holding everything together randomly snapped and fell to the ground. So I've gotten rid of the broken pieces and just kept this carabiner on this key ring. I had this thing only for about 3 years as well, and it's a little frustrating because I do have an AirTag on this, but if this broke when I was out and about, I might not have even noticed it and lost my keys. But anyways, as for the actual keys themselves, it's just my car key, house key, and AirTag. This key is super lightweight and actually came with my Ridge wallet. It feels almost weightless. I definitely hate having more keys than necessary on any sets of keys, so for me, the less the better, and this is perfect. AirPods. These are of course my AirPods Pro 2 that I got almost, again, exactly 3 years ago to the date. I've become pathetically dependent on having my headphones with me wherever I am, but ever since having a job where I can actually wear my headphones to listen to something, it's really hard not to take advantage of that and leave these in my bag all the time. Naturally, because they're made by Apple, they switch between my phone and my iPad really seamlessly. They literally connect to whatever device I'm holding and using without me going into any settings. And if there's a day I'm actually deciding to bring my Switch with me in this bag, they work pretty fantastic there as well. I hook this little lanyard to the case and will typically have them clipped inside my bag, where I'll take them out and put them away as needed. These are something that are still pretty expensive, but I'm glad I've gotten a few years of use at least out of them at this point. And I've had cheap headphones for quite a long time, and these are just super high sound quality. I promise not to go on for too long about this, but I always used to keep chapstick in my bag. But ever since I heard the pretty believable claim that chapstick actually dries your lips out more, so you use more of it, I decided to switch over to this red Vaseline. And just putting this on once, I'm pretty much good throughout the entire day. If you use chapstick on a pretty regular basis or live in cold weather, I highly recommend using this Vaseline instead. Work ID. I have a work ID as well as a key card that I need to enter the building that I work in. When I started this job 3 years ago, well, a lot happened 3 years ago, I got this holder for these 2 cards that I just keep attached to this clip inside the bag. I do only bring this bag to work when I have a shorter day, but when I am using it, this is exactly where it stays. My name and a really ugly picture of me is on this ID card, so I won't be showing that. Security key. I actually got one of these right when I found out that they even existed. I'm pretty sure someone in the comments can explain this much better than I can, but basically it's a key that's required to be plugged into a device when I log into some of my accounts on a new device, adding a pretty good layer of security. Considering that even text verification codes can be bypassed pretty easily nowadays. Even if I'm not using this too frequently, just having it allows for extra protection of my accounts and a little bit more peace of mind. iPad. Of course, I was going to mention my iPad mini in my Sling bag. This iPad mini and bag combo was the best accidental discovery I've made. I've said it before, but it's like these two were made for each other. If you've been a viewer of my channel for some time, you know I've had this exact bag and this exact iPad combo for quite a while. And aside from the 1.5 million ways I love to use my iPad mini, just having it in a quick deployable bag like this feels like I have access to whatever I need in regards to work, entertainment, or productivity. When I take this bag to work, it's so nice to just pull the iPad out of here and just have it playing something while I'm at my desk. I haven't done this myself, but I imagine just having this to pull out of a bag at a place like a coffee shop would just be a cozy little setup to get some work done. And that's just what I'm currently using in my Sling bag everyday carry. While there are things in here that are temporarily added or removed, the things I talked about today are pretty much used every single day, more or less. You can literally see Jinx's ears in the corner right here. That's so cute. Let me know if you guys have any questions about anything I talked about in today's video, or even some recommendations of what I could or should have here. Lastly, I did want to mention, as of posting this video, I will be out of town for a little over a week, so the next post might be a couple more weeks away. So thanks for your patience, thanks for your support, and I'll see you guys next time.